It is my responsibility to be the moderator for our department heads. As you know, today's program is to recognize African American first in the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District as far as department heads. And we are graced with the presence of two. Of course, I'm not counting the vice president, who was also the first in her position as an African American. So I'll read these bios first, and then we're going to turn it over to our panelists to just talk a little bit about their positions and what it was like, of course, to be the first. Just in terms of chivalry, Beverly Sanders was appointed as the first African American Director of Human Resources of the district in 2016. She joined the agency in 1998 as a management analyst, and after a series of promotions, was appointed as the first African American budget officer, where she served for 7 years. Beverly was a member of the MWRD Whistleblower Committee and currently serves on the Deferred Compensation Committee. She is a board member and treasurer of the MWRD Credit Union. Beverly is a certified public accountant and earned her Master of Business Administration degree from Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan. Prior to relocating to Chicago, she worked as an accountant in her hometown of Detroit's automotive industry. Beverly is a member of the Society of Human Resources Managers and the Government Finance Officers Association. Beverly, raise your hand. Not that it would be confusing who was who. All right, and next I'll introduce Keith. Keith Smith began his career at the district in 1987 as a senior programmer analyst and was named the Director of Information Technology in 2004, a first for an African American. Mr. Smith received recognition for many special projects, including the redesign of the User Charge Information Management System and LIMS interface, the SAP Enterprise System implementation, the State Treasurer's Investment Pool Project, the R&D Finance User Charge Billing Interface, and he also led the initiative to redesign the Waterways Control Room, designed and commissioned the application to establish and track the value of the district's assets, led the design, development, and implementation of the district's GIS management system, and introduced engineering-style tools to computer system development processes. Mr. Smith served on the committee for the first African American Heritage Month celebration before leaving the district in 2013. Keith Smith, everybody. Okay, so now taking it in order of appointment. Keith, since you were first, we're going to give you the floor to talk a little bit about your experience as the first African American department head appointed to the IT department.
I think I want to start from the community that we have here and how I was received, as a new employee here at the district. Just looking at some of these other firsts that we have here. Let me talk about, Barbara McGowan first. So Barbara was appointed, but then when she ran that first time, my daughter, who's here with us today, Yvonne, was a young Democrat and on her team. And she won, and kept on winning. She's still here, right? So some years later, my other daughter got signatures for her. She came, and Barbara was always intricate with this particular event. This event started maybe 2 years, 3 years, prior to us bringing it in the district. I think we started it on at the Chicago Club on Michigan. The first couple of years is where we had it, and so when we came in, and without Barbara, I don't know how successful we would have been. And then every year since then, that I know of, before I left, we had to, not had to, but it was Barbara that supported these events. Mother, daughter, when she was, I don't know, seventh grade, 8th grade, her choir from her grade school came and sung at the event. So this has been going on for a long time. We always considered ourselves, family. I'm not a politician, but maybe political family. So we love her dearly. Maybe we ought to come up with some name for her, like, Queen of the District or something. It's just so I just wanted to start with that. And I'm looking on this other list, and we had President Tom Fuller, a huge person. Tom Fuller was a huge person. Tom Fuller used to pick me up, like on a Friday. We would go out, just hang out a little bit. And what Tom was doing, he was like instructing me, and telling me all about this place, how to maneuver it, getting me ready for whatever was to come. Huge person. I didn't know John Rogers. I did know Cecil Lue-Hing, because I kind of worked next door to him a little bit. Just a brilliant mind, absolutely brilliant person. These people, you could ask them anything, and they would take their time and, just to help you, to make sure that you didn't, make any mistakes, help you move along in your career. Then you have Mary West on here. Such an elegant person. I don't know how many of you knew Mary. Such an elegant person. Her first role was the purchasing agent. I don't know how many of you knew that, before she became clerk. But just, so gracious. She used to say, she used to tell me, hey, they're only men and women, so, you get what you get. You know what I mean? So then, and I'm just bringing that up because of, the community that I was welcomed into. And I'm sorry, and Miss Beverly. Her brother-in-law, right? Mm-hmm. Harold Smith. Harold Smith was, I believe, assistant engineer. I think by the time Beverly left, came, Harold had left the district. But I think Beverly came highly recommended. Maybe not through official channels, but I'm just talking about, in this, community, in the community. I talked to Harold. I said, Harold, who is this? She said, yeah, she's ready. She's who we need. Apparently, he knew what he's talking about. I'm surprised he's not here. I just asked about him. Where's Harold? So it was the community that really got me started. And I would be remiss, though, if I didn't bring up Jack Farnan, because Jack Farnan is who hired me as the Director of Information Technology. And when I went to his first meeting, why was I accepted? I was accepted and received because Jack Farnan recommended me. So another giant. We had giants hit the district, and so those are the people that I stand on, and they got me.
My journey to being a department head is a pretty simple one. I won't say how many, but I had a whole lot of jobs before I came to the district, and the formula I kind of use when I move into an organization is to get to know the organization before I even interview. Do as much research as I can, and once inside the organization, I try to figure out who are the key people that I need to know. Maybe not key people of the organization, but who are the key people that I need to know? What is it that the organization is trying to accomplish? Is it something I can get behind? Because I found that when it isn't, I have to leave. But when I got to the district, I found it was something I could get behind. I mean, what truer mission can you have than protecting the citizens, not just of the county, but, it goes far, our reach goes far beyond that. And so once you get an organization, I'm not an engineer. What is it that I can contribute? You need to find out what you can contribute to the organization. And that's the way you move up. You can't be selfish with it. You can't run in saying, look at me, look at what I can do. You have to show what you can do and how you can be an asset to the organization. So that's my theory, and I could go on about some of the ways I went about that at the district, but some of the people that I worked with at the time are still here.
Yes, you have to be very careful.
You have to be very careful. But I will give you an example of another organization I worked at. I worked for a department store chain, a major department store chain, and I was hired as a statistical analyst, so for the electronics department. So my job was to look at the sales, look at the markups, see how I could help the buyers hit our targets. So our head buyer, he would have a weekly collaboration meeting, and it's not like now where you got these big fancy collaboration rooms. Everybody just pulled their chair to the center of the section, and we would meet and talk about the products that were up and coming. They would talk about the shows they had been to. Back then, and I'm aging myself, the major thing was the sales circular. So in order to hit your targets, you had to really be very good at determining what to put in those sales circulars, what to feature. So we would have our meetings, and the salespeople, they're always going to be optimistic. Oh, I can sell this many of that, and give me the feature page. And so we go through this whole process of what was going to be featured. And then after that, I go and meet with the head buyer, and I just shake my head. This is going to be another disaster. Don't know what they said. And I can't tell you what it was, but like I said, I got to try to know who our customers were. And I really wanted the organization to succeed. By the way, it didn't. It's out of business now, but during that short time, I would make recommendations, and he would, unbeknownst to me, the head buyer, he was writing down my recommendations, and he would go back afterwards and say, she beat my buyers again. So one week, he let me make the selections. The buyers were furious. It was our best sales week of the year. So after that, and I never boasted. I just continued to help and keep my low profile. I never touted myself. And I'm telling you, that's key. Just be about the business of making things happen for the organization, and what's coming to you is going to come to you. So I had people start asking me in other departments to come and help them out with their selections, housewares, appliances, clothing. The buyers for the children's department asked me to come and help them with some Easter selections, and I told them I think you should go with the same line of clothing that you had been using, but they had went out and found these really cute dresses, they said, and I said, nobody's going to buy these dresses, and they were like, why? They're so cute. I said, did you feel the dresses? I mean, it felt like sandpaper on my hands, the lining. I said, nobody's gonna put their babies in these dresses. Oh no, this is what we're gonna feature. So later on, I had gone into a store. They had those dresses on the clearance rack for $4. So, I had never met the people in strategic planning. I just heard that was the place to be. So after I had made my rounds with all these other departments, my head buyer, he called me in from electronics. He said, well, kid, you did too good. I'm losing you to strategic planning. Next thing you know, I was on the top floor of the organization, working in strategic planning, getting to travel to other stores to give recommendations on things like lighting. And what do I know about lighting? Lighting and, how the store should be staffed. And, we made a really good run for a long time. So I'm just saying, not to brag at all, but my number one question from people in the organization is how you move up in an organization. And you move up by really caring about the organization that you work for. That's why I said if this is not one you can get behind, sometimes you do have to move on. But the key is to do your best every day. If your boss gives you an assignment and he gives you 2 weeks, if you can get it done in a week, get it done in a week, because you know what? The next assignment that's a little more important and high profile, he's going to give it to you, not to the other person that took the 2 weeks. So I'm just saying, I care about this place. I'm so grateful each and every day to walk in and to work with people of your caliber who care and support me and support the organization. Nobody gets anything done on their own. I want to thank Ted Kozowski, my HR managers, most of them are here, all of my HR family, love you all. I want to thank the executive team, because those are the people I call when I need advice and support, and they're out here in a huge way for me today, so I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the commissioners who always support me. I want to thank you for the resolution. And Brian Perkovich, he's a breath of fresh air at the organization. I want to thank him also for getting us back on track and steering it and making it the place again that I love to jump up in the morning and run to. So Thank you, and thank all of you. I think I've said enough today. Once again, I'd like to thank Vice President McGowan. This Black History Month is her vision that we're carrying out. And also want to thank the board, President Steele, and the entire Board of Commissioners for presenting me with this resolution. I will always cherish it, and I will always cherish my time at the district. Thank you.
I really do appreciate being invited back to participate in this celebration. I guess it was like a little void that, I needed to do this, and you guys gave me the opportunity to do it. It's really been wonderful. All of the familiar faces, the things I talked about, it's pretty much, my life work, spent many, many years, working on those issues, and long hours of trying to understand, the processes here at at the district, and we got a lot done. But hey, times move on, and I've got to do some other things, some other maybe not as significant as to work in the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, but I do really, really appreciate you giving me this opportunity. Thank you.